start streaming. 3, 2, 1, go.
That way, that way, that way, that way. That way! There we go. Hello and welcome to Know Your Mojo. My name is Eric, and this is your chance to win some sweet Mojo merch. Over here we have Jem. How you doing, Jem?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you're going to be moderating our chat. We should break it down and explain to people how this works. So basically, we're going to reverse engineer an upcoming Mojo list. This is a list that nobody's seen yet. We're going to publish in the next couple of days or weeks. And by reverse engineering it and giving you the entries, you then have to figure out what the name of the list is based on those entries. And then Jem over here is going to be moderating the chat, and you can guess what the answer is.
Oh, yeah.
Well, maybe tell them how they can win that sweet merch.
Well, it's easy. So as you're guessing by typing your guesses in the chat box, we will pick the winner, and if your name is called out, you should go to www.youtube.com/WatchMojo, and then you go to the About tab. And there you should be able to see a little chat icon. If you click on that and send us your email address, we will then contact you with more information on how you can get your merch.
And it's great merch. We got mugs, we have hats, we have all kinds of fun Mojo merchandise. And as I said, the way we do this is we're going to reverse engineer an upcoming list. So this is like a sneak peek to a list that you have not yet seen. And we're going to give you those entries, and you have to figure out what it is that unites all these things. What's the overarching theme? And that might give you an indication as to what the title of the list will be. Then you plug that title into the chat, and of course we're looking for the most right answer. We're looking for the exact name of the list, and the first person to get that exact name. But if nobody gets that, then we're going to go with the closest approximation to that list, and we're going to give a prize away to the first person who can get as close as possible to the name of the list. We also sometimes give a prize to the person who gives the most interesting or creative or funniest alternative answer.
That's true.
Because no one list can only have one title. I mean, there's always something.
There's always like a twist that we haven't thought of, perhaps.
Exactly. There's always something else that people can find that unites them all. But why don't we start right away with one of our supercuts? I should say, actually, I'm very excited because this time, as we've done in the past, we have a musical list.
Ooh.
And when we do the music lists, I don't know about you guys, but we dance, we sing, we have a good time. Phoebe, our director over there, she gets down in the control booth. Jem over here gets right up on the desk and dances. And so we're going to have a good time. This is a musical one right now. Let's get right to it. Phoebe, can you roll tape, please?
Informer, you know, say that I'm a stormy, I go glam. I like you bum bum down. Cause you had a bad day, you're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony.
How come every time you come around my London Bridge wanna go down like London?
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts. Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby.
You're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine.
That laffy taffy, shake that laffy taffy, shake that laffy taffy.
I always like to sing along to these. I found there were a lot of shirtless people in that.
There were a lot of shirtless people.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's a hint. In fact, that is a red herring right there. The list is not about shirtless singers or shirtless videos.
Top 10 shirtless singers.
Right, that would be, but Right Said Fred were shirtless in there, and who else did I see right after that? Hold on, right after Right Said Fred was Crazy Town.
Oh yeah.
They were also shirtless there. So I'm curious. I imagine we have, as we have in all weeks, a lot of people playing along.
We do.
So any guesses so far?
Anime Lord here suggests top 10 2000s. Ethan Semmelfort also says top 10 2000s songs.
Okay. Some of those are older though. Ebony and Ivory
these are not 2000s.
No, exactly. Disco Duck.
Ludovic Garcia says top 10 weird music videos.
Fair enough. There were some weird ones there, yeah.
Mostly weird ones.
Yeah, shirtless weird ones.
Canon Moen says top 10 one-hit wonders.
Okay, a lot of those were one-hit wonders. You're on the right track, but that's not the list itself, but you're on the right track there.
Yeah, and then DL Rico says top 10 one-hit wonders you probably forgot about.
That would sound like the kind of list that we would often do here. At
Yeah,
WatchMojo.
but it's not this list.
But that is not this list. Maybe we should show it again.
Let's do it.
Let's have another look, and then we'll take more of your thoughts and guesses, and then we'll keep discussing, and we'll try and kind of bring together that uniting theme that puts all these under one roof. So, Phoebe, if you will.
Informer, you know, say that I'm a snowman, I go glam. I like you boom boom now. Cause you had a bad day, you're taking one down. You sing a sad song. Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony.
How come every time you come around my London Bridge wanna go down like London?
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar, baby.
You're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine.
That laffy taffy, shake that laffy taffy, shake that laffy taffy.
And no, this is not top 10 Christmas songs.
Clearly not.
In case that's what some people were wondering. That last one was a Christmas song. Of all those songs, by the way, any particular ones that are your favorites?
I don't remember the name, but the Come My Baby Come.
Oh, Crazy Town.
Crazy Town,
Yeah,
that's-
Butterfly.
Yeah, I remember that one from a while ago.
That was a big one back in the
yeah.
early 2000s, I think. That was
Yeah.
like a new metal. I was going to say an anthem, but I wouldn't call it an anthem.
metal?
New metal. NU.
No, but like that song.
Well, they were part of the new metal movement. That's true, but it was all in
Not
the
those
same.
people.
They were sharing the stage with the Corns and the Orgies and the Limp Bizkits and whatnot. And what's interesting about that song actually is it's sampled from Chili Peppers. Pretty Little Ditty is the name of the Chili Peppers song. That kind of
It
that
does
little
sound
opening.
like it. It does sound like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
But let's go through the list. Let's
Let's
start going through it. So number 10, Informer by Snow. Someone to go ba-da go blam. I lick you boom boom down. So from Toronto, Canada. As Torontonians often say Toronto, not Toronto.
Toronto's
We
wrong.
here are in Montreal, Canada, but still down the 401 highway. I don't know if you saw this. Very funny. So it's the F1 weekend in Montreal.
Yes.
The Formula One race is happening here. And Ferrari put out a video saying, Montreal, we're ready for you. And it was the Toronto skyline. It was a little bit embarrassing. Okay, but Informer, that was a huge hit back in 1992. Number 9.
Boom.
Bad Day, Daniel Powder. That was like the ultimate advertisement song. It was in like a Coca-Cola ad for a while.
Makes me want to buy things.
I think it was written expressly for that purpose. Another Canadian, Daniel Powder, and the album was self-titled Daniel Powder. Okay, next one.
There it is.
Ebony and Ivory, Paul McCartney and Stevie Wonder. A classic, a duet.
Yeah.
Paul McCartney then went on to do another one with Michael Jackson, which was The Girl Is Mine. The doggone girl is mine. From which came that famous phrase, I'm a lover, not a fighter. Not this song, though. This was from McCartney's Tug of War, and it was produced by George Martin. Recorded in Montserrat in the
A lot of
Caribbean.
big names in there.
A lot of big names. And McCartney, that's, I'll get to that later. Okay. Number 7, London Bridge by Fergie. Not as great of a song, if I may say so. That was her, unless Phoebe disagrees, are you a big fan? No. So that was her big solo outing, her first solo song when she didn't part ways with the Black Eyed Peas, but she went at it as a solo artist.
Solo artists, most of them tried that.
Most of them did, that's right. She had a pretty, Fergalicious was
that was
the
a
name of
good
the album. My Humps was, that was with the Black Eyed
That was with
Peas.
the Black.
That's right. From the album The Duchess, that was the first single. Next,
Boom.
I'm Too Sexy from Right Said Fred.
Oh my God.
Jack-
The only times I've ever heard that song was in the context of memes or like someone trolling me in World of Warcraft.
See, I remember working in a record store when that song. No. This was okay. I'm not that old. I was working at a record store after that song had come out because it came out in 1991. Think of that. The album was called Up, and it topped the charts in 6 countries.
Wow.
I'm too sexy. Yeah. Number 5. Butterfly, Crazy Town. Like I said, new metal, maybe at its not finest. Sampled from Red Hot Chili Peppers. And sadly, one of the members of that band, DJ AM, he died. He was, the crazy story, he was in a plane crash with Travis Barker from Blink 182. They had formed a band together, and then he survived, and then he died of a drug overdose years later. And then Shifty, what was it? Shifty Shell Shock, the shirtless guy, he's still around. I don't know what he's doing.
Hanging around.
Hanging around. All right, next one. You're 16, Ringo Starr. That song just wouldn't fly today.
No.
Not originally written by Ringo. It was actually Johnny Burnett, You're 16. And that dated back to like 1965, but Ringo Starr's was 1974. Ringo Starr, of course, drummer of the Beatles.
Yeah.
And a lot of people slag on him for, a lot of people say, oh, he wasn't such a good drummer. You know, even John Lennon said that he wasn't the best drummer of the Beatles. But he was a great drummer. And I'll argue this to the grave, that for what he did, he was the perfect drummer. The Beatles couldn't have had a better drummer.
I guess.
And if you had put like Neil Peart from Rush in the Beatles, it wouldn't have worked. Just like if you
a different sound, different style, different genre.
Yeah, and I have autographed drumsticks by Ringo Starr in my house. Okay, number 3, Laffy Taffy from DL4. Down for Life. See, I didn't even know that. I just, in my research, I
You have to Google that up.
kind of a useless song in my opinion, but you may like it. In fact, let us know. Maybe people are saying,
Any D4L fans out there?
What the hell are you talking about? They're the greatest band of all time. Ghostface Killah was not a fan. He had a bit of a beef with that. Number 2, Disco Duck.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's even before my time. That was Rick Dees
music video.
and his cast of idiots. That was meant to be like a bit of a novelty song, but there's a big misconception. People think that it was actually the voice of Donald Duck, Clarence Nash, but no, it was Rick Dees' buddy, Ken Pruitt. Not to be mixed up with Scott Pruitt. I don't think he would be doing many Disco Duck songs these days. Number 1.
Ooh.
The Chipmunk song, Christmas Don't Be Late, from David Seville and the Chipmunks. Although David Seville is not the real name of the artist, his real name was Ross Bagdasarian.
Spoilers. No.
There you go. And of course, Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, the Chipmunks. So there we go, 1 to 10 or 10 to 1. I'm wondering if we have any interesting guesses at this point.
Let's see here. Yosei Neko says, top 10 songs that wouldn't be popular if they came out today.
Fair enough. Although I still love Informer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
SmartBro30 says, top 10 songs, or songs, I guess, done by Britons.
Are they all Britons there? No. We just said Snow was Canadian, Daniel Powter Canadian, Paul McCartney, Stevie Wonder. Well, Paul McCartney is a Briton, but British, I guess.
Author DM says, top 10 catchy songs that everyone hates.
Fair enough, but I still love Informer. Actually, I'm curious. Tell us of those songs, which is your favorite? Because there's some good ones, there's some bad ones, and there's some depends on where you stand. So let us know in the comments or in the chat which of those is your favorite. Maybe we should go back and see it so you can get a fresh sense of it, and then I'm hoping we'll have a winner after we see it the supercut this 3rd time.
Oh, we'll see.
All right, Phoebe.
Informer, you know, say that I'm a stormy, I go glam. I like you bum bum now. Cause you had a bad day, you're taking one down. You sing a sad song just to turn it around. Ebony and ivory live together in perfect harmony.
How come every time you come around my London Bridge wanna go down like London?
I'm too sexy for my shirt, too sexy for my shirt, so sexy it hurts.
Come my lady, come my lady, you're my butterfly, sugar baby.
You're 16, you're beautiful, and you're mine.
That laffy taffy, shake that laffy taffy, shake that laffy taffy.
Informer. I sabbity dopey, I go blam. I licky boom boom down. See that? My favorite of that era was Inni Kamosi. Here come the hot stepper. Here come the hot stepper. Word 'em up, I'm the lyrical gangster.
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Still loving like that. Anyways, I love these musical lists. Of course, this is a list that's going to come out in the coming days or coming weeks. And so we've had more guesses. A lot of people have come close. Nobody's gotten the exact answer, but we do have someone who's gotten close enough that we can declare winner.
I think, yeah. So there's Taylor Watts who said top 10 worst #1 songs. And then Joseph Perdue said bad songs that hit #1. But the closest that I've seen here is Ben Odlin, who said top 10 worst songs that hit the Billboard. And I think that's close enough.
We can take that. The actual retail price, the actual name of the list, top 10 worst songs to top the Billboard 100 chart. So, I mean, it would have been hard for you to get it exactly right. So congratulations to
Ben Odlin.
Congratulations to Ben Odlin. Let him know how he can get in touch again.
That's easy. So you go to youtube.com/WatchMojo, and there, click on the About tab, and there you'll be able to see a little chat icon. If you click on that, you'll be able to send us your email address, and then we'll get in touch with you on how you can get your merch. Crazy.
Anybody weigh in on their favorite of those 10 songs? Or do we have any particular titles that come up more than others?
Brian Ayala says Ariana Grande a problem, but that was not one of the songs on the list, so I don't really know what's happening here. I'm confused.
Okay, well, keep those thoughts coming. We're going to go on to the next list because we always do 2 when we do Know Your Mojo. And just for those of you who are joining us now, the way this works is we reverse engineer an upcoming Watch Mojo list. So this is a list. It's like a sneak peek. It's like a look into the future of what Watch Mojo will be publishing in the coming days and weeks, and you could win some merch if you can guess, based on these entries, what the name of the list is. So it's a secret list. We're going to give you the entries. We're squishing them all into a little supercut, and if you can identify the entries and know what that overarching theme is and be able to guess the title or the closest approximation to the title, and you're the first to do so, you can win some sweet merchandise. We're talking hats, t-shirts, mugs, all that fun stuff. And so we might as well hit the second supercut. A hint, it's not a musical one. It doesn't make it any less fun. In fact, this is a really interesting one. I'm quite interested to see if people are going to pick this one up. Phoebe, let's roll the supercut, please.
Sweetheart, you're so much hotter with the sound off.
You'll really be better off giving me that name.
So, are you still...
Yeah, there's not actually a cure for that.
Right.
Fortunately, Gail, I'm the only one who knows anything about this. I can go back to auditing and make the whole thing disappear. But I'm gonna have to ask you for one small favor.
When did Hickok murder your brother, Mr. McCall?
In Kansas, Abilene.
Aren't you still drunk?
And don't you ever stand for that sort of thing. Someone ever tries to kill you, you try to kill him right back. Look, wife or no, you are no one's property.
I don't need another friend. I already have 2. I mean, how many more friends does a guy need?
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
What have you done to my team?
Embarrass them largely.
Has there ever been anyone you felt you clicked with? And what was his name? Susan?
You know, I may have been a bit misleading there because I said this one's not musical, but as we were watching the supercut, there's a lot. I was grooving to Batman, to Reading Rainbow.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some good stuff on there. But what do those entries have to do with each other? Is there a theme? Is it the actors? Is it the property itself? Is it the line? Is it the relationship of the actors to each other? Who knows? I'm curious if we already have some guesses because there's definitely a through line.
All right, FF Share says top 10 friendship scenes in movies. Choose wisely, Ransom. These are great names you guys have. Top 10 shocking TV moments.
Shocking. There were some shocking ones there, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, Velo here says top 10 cringy movie moments. An expert killer suggests 10 times in movies that the main character get roasted.
Interesting. You guys are going down different paths than I would have expected, but keep going with this, because it always helps to know what other people are thinking so that we can align ourselves in the right direction.
Top 10 friend zones? Crow 1985? I don't think... How does that work with any of this? Batman?
Yeah.
Oprah and Ellen?
Sure, Batman, why not? Oprah and yeah, sure. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Should we see it again?
Let's do it.
Some people said, we're referring to, I'll save it. Let's watch, we'll come back, we'll talk.
Sweetheart, you're so much hotter with the sound off.
You'll really be better off giving me that name.
So, are you still...
Yeah, there's not actually a cure for that.
Right.
Fortunately, Gail, I'm the only one who knows anything about this. I can go back to auditing and make the whole thing disappear. But I'm gonna have to ask you for one small favor.
When did Hickok murder your brother, Mr. McCall? In Kansas, Abilene. Aren't you still drunk?
And don't you ever stand for that sort of thing. Someone ever tries to kill you, you try to kill him right back. Look, wife or no, you are no one's property.
I don't need another friend. I already have two. I mean, how many more friends does a guy need?
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
What have you done to my team?
Embarrass them largely.
Has there ever been anyone you felt you clicked with? And what was his name? Susan?
Take a look, it's in the book, the reading rainbow. Yeah. Thank you.
Great singing.
Jem, you mentioned one of those in one of those scenes. You were like, "Yeah." There's a show that you really like in there.
Which one was that?
Firefly.
I think so. Yeah. Firefly.
So, and that being a TV show, I'm going to give a hint.
Do it.
Because a lot of people were referring to movie scenes, and we often do movie stuff. This
is all TV.
This is a TV theme.
All television.
Ah, interesting. So, any guesses now that we've seen it twice?
Poison Kiss Death, one person, suggests top 10 improvised moments on TV.
Okay. Well, at least we have the TV part in there. Yeah.
Tim Reed suggests, kind of meanly, top 10 scenes where actors weren't acting. Johnny Chung suggests top 10 LeVar Burton shows.
Yeah, well, but he wasn't. He was in several shows, including Reading Rainbow, but not all these.
Not quite.
No.
Top 10 awkward moments on TV. Kathleen Calise.
Yeah, and it's interesting because someone also mentioned Friend Zone, and as we were watching it again, I was like, yeah, I could see where in a lot of these cases,
of them, but not all of them.
Some of it seems awkward, some of it seems friend zoney, but no, that's not the path we're going down here.
No.
Why don't we go through them?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. So number 10, Veronica Mars, starring of course Kristen Bell. So that show went off the air, and then there was like a Kickstarter campaign to get a movie made, and that was one of the most successful Kickstarter campaigns of all time. I think they hit their goal of $1 million or more than $1 million in like less than a day.
That's impressive.
And then they made a movie, and so I mean, good on them. Kristen Bell, Veronica Mars. Sorry. Number 9. Angel. There's a show, Joss Whedon, right?
Yeah.
It was a spin-off from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And Angel was her boyfriend, and then he moved to LA and did a bunch of things. And the show enjoyed quite a bit of success, but then where is it now? Number 8. Prophet. Did you ever watch that?
I don't know anything about this show.
So I didn't know that much about it either, but this was a show that was it was kind of the precursor to Sopranos, to Breaking Bad, to shows like Dexter. It was really kind of based on an anti-hero, and it was on Fox, and it was about a guy in business who was doing some unethical stuff. Let's go on to number 7.
Boom.
Deadwood, an HBO show that a lot of people said was the greatest show that HBO ever put out, but it didn't have much of a chance to thrive and stay alive. It was created by David Milch, starring Timothy Oliphant and Ian McShane, and often, like I said, considered to be one of the greatest television shows of all time. Let's look at number 6.
There it is.
There's your show, Firefly, right? Another Joss Whedon show.
Yeah.
Yeah, about, it was like kind of these outlaws in space.
Space cowboys almost.
Space cowboys, basically, yeah. And Nathan Fillion and Alan Tudyk, I think that's how you pronounce it. Let's go on to the next one, number 5. Freaks and Geeks. That was a Judd Apatow show. It's a show that that basically starred Seth Rogen, James Franco, a whole cast of people who then became famous afterwards.
It's the origin story of the Apatow gang, no?
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Also, Feig. What was his name? I forget. Kevin Feig? No. Anyways, one of the other producers. Let me know in the comments. Number 4. Reading Rainbow. Ooh. Yes, that was a classic with
jamming to that song.
Who also was in Star Trek Next Generation.
He was.
And he also played Kunta Kinte in Roots. So he's had quite the career. That was a show that was on from 83 to 2006.
Damn.
That's a long time.
That's a very long time.
Number 3. Batman.
Batman.
My kid loves that song. He loves that song.
Everybody loves that song.
I guess that's true. So that was Batman starring Adam West, who passed away a year ago tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so much love to
May he rest
Adam
in peace.
West. May he rest in peace, absolutely. Number 2, Young Justice. Very cool animated show that was on the Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
And is coming back, actually. Young Justice Outsiders has been announced. And then number 1 is Ellen. Everybody, I mean, this was before she had the Ellen show. This was this was her sitcom, and that was a huge turning point in television culture. I think now, if you look at it and think about it, we might be closer. We might be onto something.
I mean, you did kind of slip some information.
I did throw
about
a couple
the
of
first
hints in
one
there. Yeah, exactly. So, do we have any good guesses?
There are some. There is. Death Reaper 3720 suggests top 10 never heard of shows.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
Choose wisely.
Never heard of Batman?
That's weird. Well, maybe it's before their time.
True, yeah.
Let's see. Choose Wisely Ransom suggests top 10 canceled TV shows. I guess the cat is out of the bag now.
The cat is out of the bag, but that's not exactly
that's not
it.
the answer. There's a slight twist.
Exactly. You're close. You're close, and he also or she suggested something from the other list. This is a good participator.
Yeah.
Yes. So thank you for your participation. Okay, yeah.
Let's see. A Bear Who Don't Care. Nice.
I like that.
Top 10 ad-libbed lines.
Yeah. No.
Denelson Avila. Top 10 TV shows that should win an Oscar. I don't think TV shows can win Oscars.
No, but maybe
maybe they should.
Maybe it's a new campaign. We'll start a Kickstarter. We'll get Kristen Bell involved. Let's have a look at the supercut one more time. Again, just to explain, this is Know Your Mojo. If you can guess the name of this list, which is upcoming on WatchMojo, you can win yourself some sweet merch, and we're showing you the entries of a list. You need to guess the list. Phoebe, if you will, let's have a look at the supercut.
Sweetheart, you're so much hotter with the sound off.
You'll really be better off giving me that name.
So, are you still...
Yeah, there's not actually a cure for that.
Right.
Fortunately, Gail, I'm the only one who knows anything about this. I can go back to auditing and make the whole thing disappear. But I'm gonna have to ask you for one small favor.
When did Hickok murder your brother, Mr. McCall?
In Kansas, Abilene?
Are you still drunk?
And don't you ever stand for that sort of thing. Someone ever tries to kill you, you try to kill him right back. Wife or no, you are no one's property.
I don't need another friend. I already have 2. I mean, how many more friends does a guy need?
Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow.
What have you you done to my team?
Embarrassed them largely.
Has there ever been anyone you felt you clicked with? And what was his name?
Susan.
Susan. Paul Feig, that's the name of the co-creator of, of the show Freaks and Geeks, who also went on to work with Judd Apatow on the movie Bridesmaids.
Which was a great movie.
Which was a great movie. Not on our list. We don't have any lists.
It's not a canceled TV show.
No, exactly. So yes, I do believe we have a winner.
We do.
Right?
We do have a winner.
Should we just see some of the other interesting calls that people have made before we reveal the winner?
Well, now that we've confirmed that these shows have been canceled, we have a lot of varieties of that title.
Okay, good. Let's see.
But there's Clue, who said top 10 shows that got canceled for no good reason.
Mm-hmm.
Satanic Potatoes suggests these names. Top 10 TV shows unexpectedly canceled.
Uh-huh.
Nick Meyer, top 10 TV shows that were unexpectedly canceled after a short time.
Uh-huh.
Mammoth Gaming suggests top 10 TV shows which accidentally revealed secrets about actors, which is a great topic. But it's not this.
Right, but you should go to our suggest page
and make that suggestion.
Yeah, that would be a great top 10.
Amazing.
In fact, this is a good opportunity to suggest, if you guys do ever have suggestions for top 10 lists, you can go to my Mojo, you can sign up, and you can go and you can suggest as many lists as you want, and who knows, maybe one of your lists will become something that we do on Know Your Mojo.
And the address is WatchMojo.com/suggest. You can go there after the show because we still need you here.
Yeah, we do. We need to reveal who the winner is because we do have a winner.
We do.
Shall we?
Yes.
Okay, so the name of the list
is...
Again, no. The name of the list
is
top 10 shows that were canceled for ridiculous reasons. Yeah.
And the person who guessed it was Martin Mandela Morrow. Their guess was top 10 shows that got canceled for dumb reasons.
Yeah,
which is very close and
Let's list those dumb reasons now. Let's go through it because
let's do it. This is interesting.
So Veronica Mars was canceled to make way for cheap reality TV.
That sucks.
Yeah, they basically, the network, because started on UPN and then went over, I think, was it the WB? And they decided, CW, and they put it on hiatus so they could air their new show, Pussycat Dolls Presents The Search for the Next Doll.
Ugh.
And then by the time Veronica Mars came back, people were less interested, and so it was canceled. Angel was canceled because Joss Whedon asked for an early renewal. So basically the network was like, oh yeah, screw you, we're just going to cancel everything.
I guess that's a business decision.
Yeah, well, they might not have been so, they might be ruining the day that they did that. But basically, he went to the head of the WB and demanded an early renewal, the WB again, so his crew wouldn't worry about their future prospects, and they said no. The next one, Prophet, which I hadn't heard of, but apparently is great. It was canceled because its protagonist was an anti-hero, and this was before the days of anti-heroes.
Wow.
And so people, in fact, Fox affiliates were bombarded with calls from angry viewers that were saying that the values that the show was portraying were not in sync with their own, and so the show got canceled.
I wonder what those people would think about Breaking Bad.
Yes, exactly. Deadwood was canceled because David Milch didn't want to do a half season. So again, it's often networks who are kind of dictating, like, either, you only get a half season, and these are showrunners who are like, nah, it's my way or the highway, and so the show got canceled. And there was supposed to be two 2-hour films made for Deadwood as finales, and they never got made. Number 6, Firefly. This is an interesting one because the network aired the episodes out of order.
This is the most ridiculous thing ever.
Think about that. So the network screwed up. They basically played episode 2 instead of episode 1, and episode 1 had all the exposition and all the background.
Who does that?
Because they didn't think the pilot was palatable enough to be a pilot, so they aired it out of order, and then people didn't lock into it or get into it, and so that was the reason for Firefly. Freaks and Geeks canceled because the network didn't think, they wanted it to be cooler and happier.
Huh.
So Judd Apatow, who's now like the king of funny, back then, they even were telling their crew, like, make it look as kind of dreary and non-colorful as possible. Huh. And you had Seth Rogen and James Franco, and still people, they wanted happier and cooler. What's cooler than, well, maybe, yeah. What's cooler than Seth Rogen, right?
That's right. He's still a nice.
Number 4, Reading Rainbow canceled for not being educational.
Wait, what now?
What now? Exactly. Because PBS put a lot of money towards teaching children the fundamentals of reading for the No Child Left Behind Act, but Reading Rainbow was to encourage kids to continue reading, not to learn how to read. So that minor discrepancy was like, off the air. Crazy, eh?
This is
a lot of weird network
reason.
decisions here. A lot of weird ones. Number 3, you're going to love this one. Why was Batman canceled?
I know this one, actually.
You do, eh?
Yeah.
Because someone's destroyed the sets.
That's so sad.
Yeah, because when they moved from ABC to NBC, and NBC was going to continue airing it, someone didn't get the memo and basically ruined all the sets. And back then in the 60s, these sets were, basically it was the price tag to rebuild the set was too much.
So it wasn't even vandalism, huh?
It wasn't even vandalism. It was just, the show's going off. We might as well. Or maybe someone just brought it into their house, like Kramer did in the Merv Griffin episode of Seinfeld. One of my favorites. Okay, number 2, Young Justice. Canceled because it wasn't selling enough toys.
Ooh, yeah, that's the thing with a lot of cartoons and anime.
They're made for that. I mean,
sell the merch.
Look, you need to understand, if you're watching TV, I mean, now it's a bit different with streaming, but generally when you watch network TV, the whole idea is that it's there to exist as the space between the commercials.
Right.
So all they want to do is sell things, and the content is just the space between. And so if it's not selling enough toys, then it's off the air. And what was it? There was a really interesting, you know what? Watch the list, because Young Justice's creator basically said that he denied it, but then he said something very interesting about, and it has to do with gender and who's watching and who's buying. And check out our list when it comes out. And number 1 is Ellen. It was canceled because she came out as gay. I mean, think about that this was back in 98, I believe, or 97, and it was such a big deal. I mean, it empowered so many people, but they got enough angry reactions that eventually they canceled it. And then she went on to become one of the most successful talk show hosts of all time. So In Your Face network that canceled Ellen. Yeah. So interesting list. Congratulations to
Ben Aldlin and Martin Mandela Morrow.
Right. So maybe once again, just let them know how to claim their prize.
Okay. So the way you win. No, well, not the way you win. The way you get your prize is you go to youtube.com/WatchMojo, and there you go to our About tab, and there you'll see a little chat icon. Send us your email address, and we will contact you with more information on how to get your merch.
That's it. And so we're back here every Thursday. We do this every week. You can win yourself some sweet Mojo Moich. Every Thursday, 3 o'clock, we'll be choosing 2 more lists. Next week, we'll be back. So on behalf of Jem and myself, thank you very much for being here with us. Keep on commenting, keep on watching. Make sure to subscribe to Mojo Talks if you like this kind of stuff where people do a lot of blah, 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 but it's interesting blah, blah, blah. And ring that bell. And thanks a lot. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye.